excited to share with you a technique using bleach and My Colors Cardstock to resemble a Japanese dyeing technique called Shibori. We'll be using a canvas textured cardstock in deep indigo and painting it with regular household bleach to give you these really cool, unique patterns. I really like to use this splashless Clorox because it's a little bit thicker, so you can keep it in the places that you want on the paper and you're not going to end up with it all over you or your kitchen. Protect your workspace, clothes, and hands by using a box with some plastic and gloves if you have them. I like to use a regular paintbrush to sort of give a painter effect to the bleach, and I also really love to use a toothbrush to give you the splatters. And it just depends on if you want splatters or if you want just kind of a more painterly look, which way you go. So we're gonna start out with our paintbrush, and I'm not diluting the bleach at all if I want it to go completely white, or if I want it to be a little bit more faded blue as opposed to just solid and completely erasing it, I would mix it with some water. So you can make it stronger or less, and you're just gonna paint it on anywhere that you want the pattern to go, and you can make it random or you can make a pretty precise pattern if you wanted to. And that's how we use the paintbrush, and we would just paint it on and let it sit. The other option is to use a toothbrush and just splatter it right on. And I like to do a little bit of both. You can also, if you want smaller splashes, this is why you need gloves. And you want to do it evenly across the paper, covering the whole surface for when you cut it up later. The next part is just waiting. So we have to sit and wait as the bleach bleaches through the color or the dye in the paper. And the reason why My Colors is so great for this technique is because it is core dyed and the color goes all the way through. You're gonna get really cool variations of color as opposed to other cardstock that may have white in the middle and then it just goes pure white. And here are our results. You can see this paper on the left has a lot of the spotting that we did with the toothbrush, and the paper on the right we painted a lot with the paintbrush and then added a few little dots here or there. So depending on the look you want, you can paint it differently, but you can see the longer you let it sit, as it dries, it'll bleach out more and more of the dye. And here you can see these areas we mixed with water, and so it just lightened it slightly, but not completely. Here are the areas where the bleach was just solid bleach with no water mixed in. Depending on the paper you use, you're gonna get different effects. So this is our deep blue cardstock and heavy cardstock, and you can see that it didn't completely bleach out. There was a color base underneath that stayed. And so we added some white paint on top to get some white. But different types of papers and different dyes will bring out different colors as you bleach them. So experiment, test a little corner. But if you want the Shibori look, you definitely want to go with the deep indigo and the canvas texture. So after we let them dry completely, I went ahead, these are unironed, but you want to iron them so that they go completely flat. And then you're going to just cut a simple egg shape. And here you can see we've done that. All I did was just trace an egg shape onto paper and cut it out. And you need 2 egg shapes for each egg on the banner. So the next thing we're gonna do is make the egg shapes for our banner, and it's super easy. All you have to do is just fold one of the 2 shapes in half, line it up as best you can. But it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what's kind of amazing about this whole project. And then we're going to just simply use hot glue, works the best because it's the fastest drying, to add it right to the second layer. So you leave the bottom one flat, fold the second one in half, and then glue it right on top. You will now cut the back of your banner. So we decided to use book paper, but you could use more My Colors cardstock, you could use pattern paper, anything to kind of lend the feel you want. But we thought it'd be really fun to kind of combine the modern look of the dyeing technique with something a little more vintage for spring. So we went with these book pages, and they're just cut to 5 by 7 with a triangle notched out of the bottom. And then the last step is to simply add your egg right on top. And I just did that with a little bit more hot glue. So just go right around the edges and add it to your banner, and this is the look you get. String your pages, hang your banner, and enjoy your perfectly current Easter decoration made with My Colors cardstock from My Mind's Eye.